All right, we are on the record. It is May 7th, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 1. Can I please have the parties announce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Cody Jordan with the Office of the Public Defender.
Oh, I can move my, you weren't here yesterday. I couldn't even use my left arm at all. I heard it in yoga. I slept on it and then I went to yoga. I thought it would be better and it just made it worse. Good morning, sir. Can you please tell me
Good
your
morning.
name?
I got trespass sign, Alpha McKenzie. I got trespass sign 4 times without warning. So they told me to get away from the stores. I went.
Okay, don't talk about the case, sir. Are you Mr. McKenzie?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sir, you were here in 2019 MM 3770AO. You were arrested for simple
5 days
trespass.
service.
I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you.
What? Why have to serve 5 more days?
I don't know if Mr.
Your Honor,
is-
Drop it down to 7. Gets out tomorrow.
7 days.
7 days, 5 days till I get them all.
So he gets out Thursday.
6 days. 7 days more.
He'll get out Thursday.
I plead to the charge.
Okay. Do you want to enter a no contest plea,
Yes,
Mr.
I do.
McKenzie? Okay. How much time does he have? Okay.
I thought it was 5 days.
5 days.
Come 4 days and then he'll be
That's
Thursday
it.
not.
And it's on film.
So you're not getting out until Thursday. We thought you had 5 days. You only have 4 days for detention.
Fine. What's going on?
Today's Tuesday, so
Today
you'll get
Tuesday.
out on Thursday, Mr. McKenzie.
What day is?
This is Tuesday.
It's
Today's
Thursday. I got the day.
Tuesday.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
All right.
So that means you're going to be spending today, tomorrow, and you're going to get out Thursday night.
I don't know what the day is.
Today's Tuesday.
What times have I had?
You have 4 days times.
How many more days I got?
You got till Thursday, 2 more days.
2 more days I take that.
2 days. 2 days.
What happened in 10 days? It was 5 days.
All right, Mr. McKenzie.
Yeah.
Is this your signature on the plea form?
What?
Is this your signature? Did you just sign the
Yeah,
plea
yeah,
form?
yeah.
Okay. Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yeah, I do.
You understand all the rights you're giving up?
Yes?
Are you on probation?
No.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
What?
Said if you're not a U.S. citizen, you will be deported.
For
Are
what?
you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. And I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 7 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 4 days time served.
Yeah.
I'm going to order you pay your court costs by May 7th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
No.
Don't go back to that 7-Eleven
I
at
won't go
901
back.
South Orange Blossom Trail. You'll
Yeah, I
probably
won't.
get arrested again,
Yeah,
okay?
All right.
Good luck to you, Mr. McKenzie. Please tell me your name.
Jordan Redden.
All right, Mr. Redden, you're here in 2019 CF 6582. No, I think so. And you are arrested for false reporting for use of firearm in a unlawful manner, violent manner. And there's 2 counts of battery. I don't find probable cause for the batteries. I don't think that there's any information. I think there's probably a supplemental report it says probable cause exists to charge Redden with 2 counts of battery. The charging affidavit for the charges were submitted to the Orange County Booking and Receiving. So at this time, I don't find probable cause for those 2 counts of battery. I do find probable cause for count 1. State, did you have any response? I'm gonna appoint the PD.
And Your Honor, as the PC for the battery just involves identifying how the battery occurred, we already have information that a witness said that it was the same person that battered 2 employees on May 3rd, and that, I understand, is not enough, even though the victims are listed on the victim form. The state is not going to make a request at this time. Court has found probable cause on the primary count.
Okay. All right, so, Mr. Redden, you're not to return back to the AT&T store, AT&T Wireless at 4313 East Colonial Drive. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Your bond will remain set on count 1 at $5,000, and I'm RORing you on counts 2 and 3.
Your Honor, he does work for AT&T.
Sorry?
Your Honor, he does work at AT&T?
He's not an employee there anymore. It says former employee.
Okay, no return.
Please tell me your name, sir. Are you Mr. Williams?
Tony Weeds, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here in 2019 CF 6371AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias. The state's filed an information charging you with carrying a concealed weapon by a convicted felon. Probable cause has previously been found. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Your bond is stayed at the $5,000.
We're not doing that today. Not today. You just said the bond.
All right, sir, thank you. Please tell me your name, sir. You Mr. Hopkins?
Yeah.
All right, you're here in 2019 CF 6576. You were arrested for a burglary of an occupied conveyance. I do find probable cause. Well, it says attempted, I'm confused. He's charged with attempted burglary of an occupied structure, and then this says occupied conveyance. So I think it was just put in there wrong because it is a structure, not a conveyance. So I do find probable cause for what's in the affidavit, which is our attempted burglary of an occupied structure. Not sure why it's not a dwelling, but that's not for me to decide. So I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to return back to 153 West Martin Street. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And I'm staying the bond at $3,500. Not gonna place Mr. Hopkins in PTR.
Your Honor, if I may simply request, he is 20 and he has no failure to appears. This is a minor charge with details that, I mean, there's clearly some story here that we don't know in such a simplified police report.
Well, I'm looking at the history and So are you just asking me to place him in pretrial release?
That's it, yes.
Okay. So, I'll place him in pretrial release.
Your Honor, may the state be heard with
You may.
regard to that? The state would object to pretrial release as his
Pretrial release.
adult conviction history includes escape, burglary, and his juvenile convictions include a firearms charge, and his adult arrest history includes the dangerous crime of robbery. The state would ask the court to stay the bond amount and not place Mr. Hopkins on pretrial release.
Well, that was my initial gut reaction. He does qualify. If he violates, he's gonna be held no bond. So, no, I'm gonna place you in pretrial release because you qualify. If you get rearrested, if you commit any new law offense, if you are alleged to have violated your pretrial release in any way, I will revoke it and I will hold you no bond. Do you understand?
All right, so when do I get out?
And Your Honor,
You know what?
the state would ask if the court is going to maintain the pretrial release, that it be ordered that he has weekly
Yeah.
face-to-face appointments.
So he's gonna have to have weekly face-to-face appointments with pretrial release. And he's gonna be tested, drug tested, within 24 hours of his release. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. King is medical.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. King.
Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Medlock?
How you doing?
Are you Mr.
Your Honor.
Medlock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on one second. All right, Mr. Medlock, you're here in 2019 CF 3917. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was previously found for failing to report. You do have reporting requirements, Mr. Medlock. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your bond will remain set at the $1,000 in the warrant.
At 1,000?
It's set at 1,000.
Is there a way you can reduce that a little bit?
I'm not gonna reduce that.
Oh, hallelujah.
Your attorneys can file any appropriate motions with the judge and the division.
She ain't done. Oh, she is? Okay.
Please tell me your name.
Gary Patrick Mullane, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Mullane, you're here in 2017 CF 4083AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your arraignment on July 13th, 2017. The judge set your bond at none on each count. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I can't do anything about the capias today, so
I
your
understand.
attorneys will have to file a motion, okay?
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Please tell me your name.
William Mumford.
All right, Mr. Munford. All right, you're here in 2019 CF 6507. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause has already been found for aggravated battery on a person 65 years of age or older with great bodily harm, battery on a person 65 years of age or older, burglary of an occupied dwelling, and a violation of an injunction, a repeat injunction. Probable cause has previously been found. I am gonna appoint the public defender. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're to abide by any injunction in place, which is listed in the affidavit. You're not to return back to the residence at 19 WGH Washington. You're not to have any contact with the victim, any witnesses, or any co-defendant in the case. And I will stay the bonds as set. Count 1, $5,000 and $150 on counts 2, 3, and 4. Please tell me your name.
Felipe Way.
All right, Mr. Way, you're here in 2019 CF 6546AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bonds will remain set at $1,000 on count 1, $100 on counts 2 and 3.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I would speak with Mr. Jordan before you say anything to the court because you're being recorded. All right, Mr. May, thank you. Please tell me your name.
Willie D. Shaver.
All right, Mr. Shaver, you're here in 2019 MO 8660. You were arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Mr. Shaver?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
Your Honor, I've spoken with my client. He does wish to take the offer.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Mr. Shaver, you want to plead no contest? Plea no contest?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is this your signature on the plea form?
Mm-hmm.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form? You gotta speak out loud, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Okay. Are you on probation anywhere? Is that a no?
Yep.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by May 7th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right, sir. Good luck to you. Please tell me your name.
Kip Young Cornelius.
All right, sir, you're here in 2019 MM 3845. You were arrested for trespass after warning.
Yes,
I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Cornelius?
Yes, Your Honor, it's An adjudication of guilt, 5 days, 2 days credit time served, no return to the McDonald's at 2701 East Colonial Drive in Orlando, Orange County, Florida, and abide by all trespass warnings and court costs.
Thanks. All right, Mr. Cornelius, you want to enter a no contest plea?
Yeah, do I go home today, ma'am, or just
Not
2 days?
today.
2
I
days?
think
All right, 2 days.
tomorrow, maybe?
Tomorrow, okay.
5 days credit for 2 days time served.
So you do 3 out of 5?
5-2, yeah, I don't.
All right,
I
thank you, ma'am.
Usually get
Thank
an
you,
extra
Judge
day in
Wish.
there, I don't know how that works out, but I'm not, I'm not classification, so I don't compute
Okay,
your time
tomorrow-
served,
tomorrow.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know when you'll get out,
All
but,
right.
Not tomorrow.
All right, tomorrow.
okay?
Thursday, okay.
I'm
thank you.
showing you the plea form, is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, stay
Did
away
you-
from the McDonald's for 12 months, and,
Okay, do you that's in the, do you understand all the rights you're giving up
yes, ma'am.
in the plea form?
Yeah,
Okay.
more time to handle.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, I'm not, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm clean.
Listen to what I'm saying and then answer, okay?
All right, yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that
Okay.
if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
I do
I'm a
find a
citizen,
factual
yeah,
basis
so-
for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You cannot go back to the McDonald's.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at 2701 East Colonial Drive. Don't go
Okay,
back
two-
there. Abide
two-
by those trespass warnings.
Yes, ma'am.
I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by May 7th, 2020.
Yes, ma'am.
Gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir? Good luck
All
to
right,
you.
thank you. So 2 days or out for 5 days sentence?
They'll tell you when you're getting out, but I don't know, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Bradford Andrews.
All right, Mr. Andrews. You're here in 2019 CF 6581AO. You were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this case, as well as in 2019 CF 6547AO, in which you're charged with grand theft, 3rd degree. I find probable cause in that case as well. And I'm appointing the public defender in 2019 MM 3836AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence. And I do find probable cause. You have the PD in all 3 cases. You're not to return back to 4155 Millennia Boulevard, that Best Buy. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. You're also not to return back to 8350 South Orange Blossom Trail, that Best Buy. And then you're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses at that Best Buy either. Your bond will stay set in 6581 at $5,000. Your bond will stay set at $1,000 in 6547. And I'm reducing the bond in the misdemeanor case to $100.
So it's one. How much is it? I can't read.
6,000. Please tell me your name.
Ray Jean Blair, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Blair. You're here in 2019 CF 6574 You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was previously found for grand theft third degree. I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to 12190 Lake Underhill Road, that BJ's Wholesale Club. Not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. Your bond will remain set at $1,000.
Ma'am, can I ask you a quick question?
I would speak with Mr. Jordan before he asked me anything.
I just want to know if this jail can't look it up.
The more you say, the worse it gets.
If they can look it up for me.
Yeah.
I just want to know if they filed charges on, I have 3 revoked bonds. I have been trying to get on. I just want to know if they filed charges on him yet, because it's been 100 days and they still ain't. The store was BJ's?
Huh?
The store was BJ's, you were saying?
BJ's Wholesale.
All right.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Mark Kane.
All right, Mr. Kane, you're here in 2019 CF 1712AO. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of pretrial release. The judge in that case has set your bond at none. Does he have the PD? Yes. Okay, you do have the public defender. Mr. Kane, your attorneys are gonna have to file any motions in front of that trial judge, okay?
Time served.
You pled out yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. I went
All right.
downtown court.
Let me pull it up and let me see.
I'm not sure if they've updated the,
He did have court yesterday, and I am showing some type of disposition. Court minutes are not in there, but case closed as to all counts. So. Yeah, I don't know the result of the plea, but somehow, they didn't quash the warrant. And unfortunately, you got picked up on it, so they should release you on it since the case is resolved. I don't believe there's any other reason to hold him. So, sorry, Mr. Kane.
No problem.
That's unfortunate for you, so, will he be released this morning?
He's got another case, Your Honor.
So he has another case?
He has another case, yeah.
Okay, so, looks like you do have another case,
Yes,
but they should release you on this case.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, I
Yes.
apologize for that.
That's all right.
Okay, thanks. All right, please tell me your name.
Melvin Gerard Duval.
All right, Mr. Duval, you're here in 2019 CF 6504. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for lewd and lascivious molestation and battery. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to return back to the Universal Cinemark or any Universal property at, it looks like 6,000 Universal Boulevard, but don't go back anywhere to Universal. Not to have any contact with the listed victim or any witnesses in the case, and no unsupervised contact with anyone under the age of 18. Your bond will remain set at $5,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. Please tell me your name.
Carlos Ferrer.
Ferrer Nunez?
Yo.
Okay, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 6218. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause has been found for grand theft 3rd degree. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to go back to the Coach store located at 4965 International Drive. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case, and your bond will remain set at $1,000. Please tell me your name.
Scott Gibson.
Mr. Gibson, you're here in 2019 CF 6536 AO. You're arrested for possession of heroin. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will remain set at $1,000. Looks like he has a hold out of Polk County, too.
Yes, Your Honor. He does have a hold out of Polk County. Is there a bond in that?
It's a no bond.
It's
That's a
I
no
think
bond
it's for a VOP.
Yeah, it's very-
Okay. So if it's a VOP, we'll hear that.
He's on probation.
I'm sorry, am I going to be shipped to Polk County?
They're gonna come pick you up.
Okay, when is that? Do you know? Soon?
They have 72 hours?
No, I think he has to resolve his case here first,
Okay.
That's a bond out of the
or bond out, or then they'll come and pick him up.
But if I paid the $1,000 bond,
I think
Polk
then
County
they'll
would still
pick you
come and
up.
get me?
Yeah, uh-huh.
So it's kind of a waste of $1,000. I don't know.
Okay? Please tell me your name.
Dale Harvey.
All right, Mr. Harvey, you're here in 2019 CF 4193AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of pretrial release. And the judge in that case sets your bond at none. Do you have the PD? You do have the PD in that case, okay? They can file any appropriate motions for you.
Okay. Yesterday they say violation of probation.
It's a violation of pretrial release.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Your Honor, but the capias entered by the judge, he set bond at $5,000 and $50. Or was that for the other cases?
This is Mr. Harvey.
Yes.
I'm showing a
That's for his
zero
other case.
bond on the violation of pretrial release. I don't have,
He has another case.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
the bonds for the other case.
I don't have that case. Please tell me your name.
Anthony Jones.
Mr. Jones, you're here in 2019 CF 5970. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer and driving while license is revoked as a habitual traffic offender. You're not to drive without a valid license. Your bonds will remain set at $10,000 on count one and $2,500 on count two. I'm gonna appoint the PD to represent you in that case, as well as in 2018 CF 13143AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your pretrial on April 23rd, 2019. The bond is set at none in that case. I'm not sure if you have the PD, but I'm gonna appoint them to represent you in that case. And then you're also here in 2019 CF 1224. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant, which probable cause was previously found for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. You're not to return back to the Home Depot at 13121 South Orange Blossom Trail. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case, and your bond is set at $1,000.
And Your Honor, may the state have that case number again?
The last one,
Yes, Your Honor.
2019 CF 1224.
Thank you.
I'm doing so sorry.
Tell me your name, ma'am.
Connie Kent.
All right, Ms. Kent, you're here in 2018 CF 13420AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your VOP status hearing on April 26, 2019. The judge set your bond at 0 in that case. You have the PD? You do have the PD in that case, so they can file any appropriate motions for you, okay?
Okay.
Please tell me your name.
John Patrick Packler.
Sir, you're here in 2019 CF 6580. You're arrested for petty theft second degree as a subsequent offense and trespassing in an occupied structure or conveyance. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to go back to the Publix Liquors at 1020 West Canton Avenue in Winter Park, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. You're to abide by any and all trespass warnings. Your bond will remain set at $1,000 on count one and $100 on count two. And I did appoint the, I don't know if I said it, but I'm appointing the PD, okay.
Thank you, Rob.
Please tell me your name.
Leonard Bernard Pender.
All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 6548AO. You're arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to drive without a valid license. Your bond will remain stayed at the $2,500.
Sir.
Please tell me your name.
Lazaro Ramos.
All right, Mr. Ramos, you're here in 2019 CF 2206AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your case management conference on April 29, 2019. The judge revoked your bond, set your bond at none. So you have the PD? You do have the public defender, okay? So they can file any appropriate motions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name. Mr. Reynolds, you're here in 2019 CF 6539. You were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you in that case. You're not to return back to the Sprint store at 7332 West Colonial Drive. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or any co-defendant, Mr. Davis. In 2019, your bond will stay at the $500. In 2019 CF 6541, you were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. I'm pointing the PD in that case. You're not to return back to the AT&T authorized retailer at 4757 The Grove Drive, number 148. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in that case. Your bond will be set at $1,000. In 2019 CF 6577AO, you're arrested for grand theft less than $300 and less than $5,000 and criminal mischief $1,000 or more. I do find probable cause. You're not to return back to the Verizon Wireless at 1380 West Orange Blossom Trail. Not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Your bonds will remain set at $150 on count 1. I'm sorry, it was a bond correction, so it's $150 on count 1 and $1,000 on count 2. And your last case is 2019 CF 6579AO. You're arrested for grand theft. I do find probable cause. You're not to return back to Sprint at 1039 West Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or any co-defendant, if there is any. Your bond will remain set at $1,000, and I'm appointing the PD in all those cases if I didn't specifically say it. Please tell me your name.
William Siegel.
You know what happened to Mr. Rivera? Okay. Mr. Rodriguez? Medical. Reset Mr. Rodriguez. Siegel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Siegel, you're here in 2018 CF 16443AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your trial management conference on April 25th, 2019. The judge set your bond at 0 in that case. You have the PD, you do have the public defender. They can file any appropriate motions for you. Please tell me your name.
Derek Telleran.
Do we know what happened to Sletter? All right. Reset him. All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 6545. You're arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude a police officer and no valid driver's license. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. There's a bond correction, it should have had no bond on count one, so there's a bond correction form, when he came in. So you're not to drive without a valid license. Your bond will be set on count one at $5,000, count two $100. You're also here in 2019 MM 3835. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. Stay the bond at the $500.
Your Honor, was that $5,000 in
On
the?
count one on the other, yeah, the fleeing and eluding. Mhm.
Yes.
And then you're out on bond. But I'm not gonna take any action on that today, but don't come back, because if you come back, I'm gonna revoke all the bonds. Please tell me your name.
Monica Taylor.
Ms. Taylor, you're here in 2019 CF 6538 AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you, not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription.
And she does
She
qualify.
okay,
She
I was
does,
gonna
yeah.
ask. I'm gonna place you in pretrial release, okay? And because you're not gonna possess or consume any illegal substances, they will drug test you. So you just need to make sure that you comply with all of those requirements, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name.
Christina Michelle Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, you're here in 2019 CF 6543 AO. You're arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm, child abuse, possession of a firearm, and commission of a felony, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the PD. You're not to return back to 5130 Piccadilly Circus Court. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Your bond on count one will be $3,500, count two $150, count three $2,500, and count four $100.
Your Honor, I understand the seriousness of the charges, but she has no prior convictions. She does have a verified address, employment, she works, and she has family as well. I'd ask that she be released PTR.
That's a
She
dangerous
doesn't
crime.
qualify.
Yeah, can't release.
I'm sorry.
Please tell me your name.
Oswald Beecham, Judge.
Mr. Acevedo?
Ma'am?
Mental health? Okay. Reset. Is this Mr. Beecham? All right, sir, you're here in 2019 MO 861. You're arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
You want to accept the offer, Mr. Beecham?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I think you should get out tomorrow,
All right, Your Honor.
okay?
Thank you, Judge.
He'll get out tomorrow, right? 4 and 2? Yeah. Thank you. All right, Mr. Beecham, you want to enter a no contest plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm showing you the plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Ma'am?
Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Okay. Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right. You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation. If you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation. Do you understand?
Yes, I
Okay.
understand.
I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. Based on the affidavit, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order that you pay those by May 7th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir, okay?
All right, Your Honor.
Good luck to you. Please tell me your name.
Jeffrey Wayne Finley.
Mr. Finley,
Good
you're
morning.
here in
I mean, good evening.
2019 MO 862. You were arrested for an open container. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the PD's office. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's
I
see.
plead no contest.
It's an adjudication, credit time served.
Okay, it's an adjudication, credit for time served. You'll get out today. You want to take it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Have you signed the plea form? Thanks. All right, Mr. Finley, you want to enter no contest plea?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
understand.
I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to, what does he have, 2 days in? 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by May 7th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good
Yes,
luck,
ma'am.
Mr. Finley.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Please tell me your name.
Cedric Jackson, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Jackson. You're here in 2019 MO 863. You were arrested for urinating or defecating in public. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the PD. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no return to the 7-Eleven at 1201 South Hiawassee Road.
and I have spoken with my client about this. He does wish to take the offer.
Okay, I'm not gonna take any action on the out on release case. Just make sure you keep reporting to your pretrial release officer. Don't get arrested again.
Yes, ma'am.
Cause I can take you out of pretrial release. I don't wanna do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Did I give this to you? Thank you. All right, Mr. Jackson, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes,
Did
yes,
you-
ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
But that's PTR.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you're not on any
No, no, no,
probation?
no,
Okay.
ma'am.
Do you
No.
understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea based on the affidavit. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Can't go back to that 7-Eleven,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
Yes.
I think it's on the Hiawassee Road. Don't go back there. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those, by May 7th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Don't miss any of your court dates in that other case if you have any, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Kenneth Carroll Kazerski.
Okay. You're here in 2019 MO 864. You were arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
Thank you. All right, sir, do you want to enter a no contest plea?
Yes,
Okay, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, I do, Your
Do you
Honor.
understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, I do.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right, you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
I understand.
Okay. I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by May 7th, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off.
Yes, ma'am.
You wanna appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Leave me low, Simonu.
Mr. Manu? Manu, okay. And you're here in 2019 MO 865. You were arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
All right, Mr. Manu, that's the offer. It's the state's offer. So you can take it or I can just impose the bond. You don't have to take the offer. It's up to you. I think you would get out tomorrow. Oh, okay. So it looks like you're being held on something else anyway. So while you're here, you could get the day time served. Okay, I'll impose the $250 bond. Please tell me your name.
Richard Tesh.
All right, Mr. Tash, you're here in 2019 MO 867. You're arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Do you just want to see if the state has an offer for you?
Yes.
Okay.
The offer is an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
So I think that would, unless you have something else holding you, then I think you'd get
I
out
have
tomorrow.
I
Okay.
have. So that means I'll be out in 2 days?
I think you'd get out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Tesh, you want to enter a no contest plea?
Yes.
I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
Nope.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Correct.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea based on the affidavit. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by May 7th, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off, okay? If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Okay? Good luck to you. Please tell me your name.
Jose Juan Bercia Jr.
All right. You're here in 2019 MM 3832 AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. You're also here in 2019 MM 3831. You were arrested in that case for resisting an officer without violence.
Your Honor, as to, sorry, for the defense, before you find that there's probable cause, I did want to mention, this is the same incident.
Is it different officers?
There's 2 officers in the same incident.
So they just happen to charge it on a separate affidavit for each officer?
I would say this would either be, this should be consolidated into one incident.
Well, this is what they're doing, so I'm gonna take that into consideration when setting the bond. Unless he
Yes,
wants
that's what
to,
I'm asking
unless there's a
for.
plea offer. But that's usually what I do because I understand that that's something that law enforcement is doing. So I do take that into consideration when setting the bond. I don't know if there's an offer, but let me get through this part,
Yes,
okay?
yeah, sure.
But I do find the probable cause for the resisting an officer without violence in the second case. And I'm gonna appoint the public defender in that case. Chances are, if it gets filed on, if it's not resolved today, then they will consolidate it into one case, the state attorneys. But, Ms. Bush, was there any offer?
Yes, Your Honor. And the offer is based on the facts of the case as well as the fact that he has a prior conviction for resisting officer without violence. And the offer is an adjudication, 10 days. And in 3832 AO, he would also have a 1-year DL suspension for the possession of cannabis. And that would be a global concurrent offer.
And how many days does he have in? 2. So it looks like it's a global offer for both, which is really the same offer. So it's an adjudication, 10 days, 2 days time served, and then the adjudication on count 2 and 3832 comes with the 1-year DL suspension. If he doesn't want to take it, I'll stay the bonds and then set the bond at the 100 on the resisting, on the second resisting, okay? All right, sir, you gotta make a decision. So if you wanna take the offer, you can take the offer. If you don't have to, and we'll just set your bonds. Okay, I don't think you're gonna wanna take the plea.
I might as well just take the plea.
You wanna take the plea?
I guess.
Okay, well, you don't have to. I don't want you to
I
do
don't- I
something
don't-
that you don't wanna do and you don't feel comfortable if you don't feel like you've had enough time to talk with your attorneys. So, it's really up to you. You're not, this is your decision, it's your life. But we just don't have all day to talk about it, so. You want to enter the plea?
He does want to enter.
Okay. Thank you. All right, sir, you're going to enter a no contest plea? Okay, my concern is that he doesn't really know what's
I
happening.
don't know what he wants to do.
So,
I think he's concerned about his car right now,
okay.
so.
Well, you're not going to be able to drive. So, do you want to enter the plea or not? Because you don't have to. This is not something you're being forced to do. So, I can just set the bonds. That's what I'm going to do. So, I'm going to set the bonds in 3832. It's $500 on count 1, $100 on each additional counts 2 and 3, and in 3831, the bond will be reduced to $100. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription.
I'm gonna have to take the plea because I don't have the money. I'm gonna have to take it. I don't have the
Okay,
money.
well, you're acting like you don't know what you want to do, so
No, I
that's.
don't know what I want to do. It's just a situation with the car. Who's gonna pick up the car? But I'm gonna have to take 10 days
Okay.
regardless because I can't.
All right. I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation? All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea based on the affidavit in 2019 MM 3832. Going to adjudicate you guilty on each count, sentence you to 10 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. Those counts will run concurrent. There's a 1-year driver's license suspension on count 2. And I'm gonna order you pay your court costs by May 7th, 2020, and 2019 MM 3831. I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days, time served. That is gonna run concurrent with 2019 MM 3832. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by May 7th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Please tell me your name.
Sandra Dominique Collier.
Ms. Collier, you're here in 2019 MM 3839 AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause you did not fill out a form for the public, oh, you did. And I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is there an offer for Ms. Collier if she wanted to resolve her case?
Yes, Your Honor, it would be an adjudication credit time served.
And she have 2 days in, so it's a credit for time served offer, and I would have to impose court costs.
Question whether or not this could be a withhold, perhaps with additional days. She has no priors in her history, and she does work for a security company where an adjudication may affect her employment.
And the state actually took that into consideration, but the facts of the case, a situation, particularly if she's a security officer, that could have escalated an already volatile situation and endangered the parties involved, and that's why the state is going with an adjudication.
If she's concerned about that, I don't know if she's gonna have any issues posting the bond, but I would just, I would set the bond at $250.
Does she not qualify for PTO?
She does not.
Is there a reason? I mean, she has no history.
She has no community ties, and we have her listed as transient.
She has a job, and
I got 2 jobs. I don't get in trouble at all.
did you answer all their questions?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Did you answer all their questions?
Yeah. Yes, I answer all the questions.
You have 2 jobs?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I work for Wiser Security at nighttime and Trojan Labor in the daytime. I do construction in the morning and I do security at night.
All right, I don't have any, I would ROR her. Okay? So, ma'am, you just need to make sure that you keep in contact with the public defender's office.
Yes, ma'am.
That you make sure that they have a way of getting in touch with you. If the
Yes,
state
ma'am.
files on it, you need to make sure that you come to court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do not miss any court dates.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Please tell me your name.
Michelle Gonzalez.
Ms. Gonzalez, you're here in 2019 MM 3833 AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence in possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the PD. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, it'd be an adjudication of guilt, 5 days, 2 days credit time served, 1-year DL. If I may have just one moment to take a look at something. As to count 1, it would be an adjudication, 5 days, 2 days credit time served. As to count 2, it would be a withhold, 2 days, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
So no DL suspension on
So
count
no
2.
DL suspension.
Did release everything? Did they take off everything? So I'm just doing 2 days for the week. What's up the other?
State, to clarify, it is concurrent, correct?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So,
And then I don't have to worry about this. Thank you. All right, Ms. Gonzalez, you want to enter a no contest plea? Is that, you got to speak up because we're being
Yes.
recorded. All right. Did you understand, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea
Yes,
form?
ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file. On count 1, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. On count 2, I'm going to withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by May 7th, 2020. Those counts are going to run concurrent. And if you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, okay? It was, no, 5 days, 2 days on count 1, and count 2 was 2 days, 2 days credit for time served. I think we just need to put them in here. Please tell me your name, sir.
Troy Allen Christosek.
All right, you're here in 2019 MM 3829 AO. You're arrested for an open container violation and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the PD. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. So I'm gonna get up.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. All right, sir, you want to enter a no contest plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, Your
Do you
Honor.
understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea based on the affidavit. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served on both counts. Those are going to run concurrent. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by May 7th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Please tell me your name.
Brian Demetrius Lane.
Mr. Lane, you're here in 2019 MM 3817AO. You're arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. I'm not sure if the state has an offer for you today.
It looks like he's on probation, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm just gonna stay the bond at the $500. You're not to go back to 400 East Central Boulevard in Orlando, Florida to that Publix. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. All right, sir, thank you. Please tell me your name, sir.
Tyree Mills.
All right, Mr. Mills, you're here in 2019 MM 3821AO. You're arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I don't know if the state has an offer for you today. Does the state have an offer?
No, Your Honor. The restitution issue is a little iffy.
All right, you're not to go back to 1500 East Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida, that Publix. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. I'm gonna set your bond at $500, but I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond case, but if I see you again, I will. So do not come back, do not violate the conditions of your release.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, bro.
Don't miss any court dates.
Appreciate you.
Please tell me your name.
David Stager.
Mr. Stager. You're here in 2019 MM 3838AO. You're arrested for battery, assault, and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to go back to any Disney property, specifically 2100 Epcot Resorts Boulevard to the Disney's Boardwalk Resort. But again, you're not to go back to any Disney property. You're to abide by any trespass warning. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Your bond on count 1 will be set at $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is set at $500. And I'm setting your bond at the $500 on count 3. Medical? Mental health, okay. I'll reset. Please tell me your name.
Julius Waldo Cuevas.
All right, sir, you're here in 2019 MM 3815AO. Arrested for providing false ID to law enforcement officer. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is there an offer for Mr. Wilder Cuevas?
Yes, Your Honor, it'd be an adjudication, 5 days, 2 days credit time served. And no return to 410 North Orange Blossom Trail.
You wanna take that offer?
5 days, and I got 2. Yeah, I take it.
Okay, you can't go back to that 410 North Orange Blossom Trail, and I do have to impose court costs, okay?
Okay. Wait, is this with adjudication or no adjudication?
This is adjudication.
It's an adjudication.
Go ahead. I'm good.
All right, sir, do you want to enter a plea of no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, that's my
Did you
signature.
understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Okay.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to 410 North Orange Blossom Trail. And, I'm gonna impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by May 7th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off.
Okay.
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck to you. Please tell me your name.
Sean Richardson.
All right, Mr. Richardson, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Jacksonville or Walker, or no, is it Duval? I should know that. Duval County. And the judge set your bond at none on each count. So Duval County has 72 hours to come and pick you up. That does not include the weekends, okay? Please tell me your name. Mr. Solomon?
Earl Solomon.
All right. You're here, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant. Out of, I have no idea what county. St. Lucie? St. Lucie County. And the judge set your bond at none, so St. Lucie County has 72 hours to come and pick you up, and that does not include the weekends, okay? They used to write it at the top for me. They used to write it at the top for me. Where? I know, okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Kevin Strong.
All right, Mr. Strong, you're picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. And looks like your bonds are set at $3,000 on each count. So if you can bond out, you can bond out. If not, Seminole County has 24 hours to come and pick you up, okay?
So I can't find out now. From there.
Please tell me your name.
Jonathan Alvarez.
All right, Mr. Alvarez, I think we're readdressing this case from yesterday when the state was, or there's a couple cases, and the state was providing the court with additional supporting probable cause documentation. I did receive that. Mr. Jordan, did you receive that as well?
Yes, it was emailed this morning at
Okay, just wanted to make sure that he'd had an opportunity to look at it as well. So, the additional probable cause documentation provided to the state does provide supporting probable cause for the cases in 2019 CF 6488 AO. There's probable cause for burglary of a conveyance. You're not to return back to anywhere on Daisy Hill Court. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in that case. And your bond will remain set at $3,500. In 2019 CF 6489 AO, you were arrested for burglary of an unoccupied conveyance. And the state did provide additional documentation, and this court does find probable cause for that offense. You're not to, again, return back to anywhere on Daisy Hill Court. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in that case, and the bond will remain set at the $3,500.
And Your Honor, can we have a no contact with the co-defendant as well?
And sure, and no contact with any co-defendant. I believe that's Mr. Perez on any case. In 2019 CF 6487, this was the armed burglary of the conveyance and the grand theft firearm. Mr. Jordan, are you
Yes.
making that same argument?
I am making the same argument. I do have a copy of the same case.
And the state is asking the court to find probable cause for burglary of a conveyance in that
Okay,
matter.
so I do find, based on the, was that the Barrett case?
Yes, Your Honor,
Okay.
Barrett before.
I can't believe I remember that. That Barrett case. And I do find that argument persuasive, and so I am going to find only a probable cause for burglary of a conveyance, same as the other cases, but I do find probable cause for grand theft of a firearm. Your bond will be set at $5,000 on count one, $150 on count two, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, no return back to the Daisy Hill Court, and no contact with any witnesses, victims, or your co-defendant. And finally, in 2019 CF 6486, you're arrested for burglary of a conveyance. I do find probable cause. Again, no return back to Daisy Hill Court, no contact with any listed victim, witness, or co-defendant, and your bond will remain set at the $3,500. That's the additional PC that the state provided. Okay. Is this the second reset, or? Just reset once? But he's refusing? Yesterday was behavior? All right. We'll call that at the end. All right, ma'am, please tell me your name. Sorry, you're gonna come up to the microphone.
Gilden.
All right, Miss Gilden. You were arrested in 2019 CF 6376 AO for possession of cocaine, destruction of evidence, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Does she not qualify for pretrial release?
We had interviewed her. She refused to be interviewed, or she refused the interview by PTR.
Okay.
She didn't
Well,
want to
I'll
answer the
do,
questions.
I'm gonna stay the bond at $1,000 and at 150 on count two, 100 on counts 3 and 4. If she or PTR if she decides that she wants to qualify herself and cooperate. Maybe she'll qualify for pretrial release and not have to post a bond, okay? But without cooperating, then you're not gonna qualify. So I'll put bond or PTR, okay?
And Your Honor, that PTR would be with your analysis?
If no drugs and alcohol, they automatically test them, and it's within 30 to 45 days. That's what I was told by pretrial release, so. Okay.
I ain't got no phone.
We'll reset him one more time. Behavior. And then we have the add-ons. Well, we still have the sign interpreter. Are we bringing in Ms. Martinez Castro for the sign interpreter? She's been here for a while, so. Okay. Can you tell me your name?
Frederick Jackson.
I don't have a Frederick Jackson.
That's the determination of counsel, Your Honor.
We don't have that.
I actually read your list. I'm teasing. But I don't know what his case number or inmate.
I don't have anything. Yeah, I mean, we don't have any. So I just need to. Did he not qualify? So were you planning on getting your own attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I do have one, Daniel and Blanker. When my wife had got it for me, I had told her I had this court date, but
Well,
they.
he hasn't filed a notice of appearance yet, so chances are you haven't paid him fully. That's usually when they file their notice of appearance.
Yes, he has been paid.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he hasn't filed his notice of appearance yet. Do you know when he was paid?
He was paid Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there's nothing in the court file, so do you want me to appoint the public defender, and then if you don't need them, he can file his notice of appearance in substitution of counsel?
No, my wife had got it already, so
Okay, so you don't want me to appoint the public defender?
no, I'm all right.
Okay, I'll take no action. Sorry. Morning. How are you? Have you been sworn in? You have not. Okay.
Do you swear to translate from English to American?
Sign language.
American sign. American sign. American sign to English. Testimonies given. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you please tell me your name? All right, ma'am. You were here because you were arrested in case number 2019 CF 6572AO. You are arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and battery. I do find probable cause. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender's office?
Well, I had another lawyer, but, I don't know if I'm supposed to, this is my first time here, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to have another lawyer.
Do you know when you spoke with this lawyer?
Maybe in February,
Okay.
immigration lawyer.
Okay. Well, this,
Still in process. I don't know his phone number, it was a woman, I don't know how to contact her.
okay. Well, ma'am, this is a criminal case, not an immigration case. And so you probably need somebody who knows criminal law.
Oh, I see, okay.
Do you,
Okay, yeah, sure, I would like to have a lawyer.
do you work?
No, no. My husband, is from America, and, my husband, yeah.
How much money, do you live with your husband?
Process.
Do you live with your husband?
Oh, yes, we live together.
What is your husband's income?
He has 2 jobs, but I don't know how much he makes. I think it depends.
Do you have any children?
I'm not really sure. No.
Okay, I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. All right.
What will that cost?
Well, it's a $50 fee for the application. And then there may be costs associated when your case is completed. If the state files on it, there's a lot more to it than just that.
Oh, I understand.
Okay. So I do find probable cause for the listed offenses that you were arrested for. The conditions of your release are that you're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case. You're to maintain separate residences. Your bond will remain set at $3,500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2.
Wait, I don't understand. Maintain separate residences? I don't understand.
Well, the victim is alleged to be one of your roommates, correct? So I'm ordering no contact. I'm not kicking you out of the home, but you all must maintain separate residences.
Your Honor, if that results in her not being able to go back. could
I
ask
didn't
her-
say she can't go back.
If the person still
Well,
resides,
I can't kick them out of their house, and I can't kick her out of her house.
I would just ask that she gets a one-time chance to return.
Right, I'll give her a one-time return if she needs to go back and get, I mean, her husband lives there, so, if she needs to get any of her belongings, if she needs to leave the house, she can go back with law enforcement one time. Just needs to make sure she arranges that with them ahead of time. But I'm not ordering that she not return back, that she just has to maintain
understand.
separate residences.
I was just requesting. the-
Okay, yeah.
Where am I going to go?
That's, maybe you need to speak with your attorney and they can help you figure that out. I can't give you any legal advice.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay?
My roommate,
Don't talk about the facts of the case, ma'am, okay? That's it, thank you. And I'm gonna reset Mr. Blanchard one more time, just he has competency issues. Refused. But he has some competency stuff and out of bond and. Thank you so much. Sorry to keep you waiting.
No worries.
All right, this is, Mr. Everett Williams filed a motion, a 33-day motion for Rashima Lucretia Williams.
Yes, Your Honor. Notice of non-filing was filed in 2019 CF 4629AO on May 7th.
All right, that will be granted. (2019) MM 2847AO Thoreau Hardaway.
One moment, Your Honor.
Oh.
A notice of non-filing was filed on May 6th.
All right, that will be granted. 2019 CF 4517 Sardal Leonard.
A notice of non-filing on May 3rd.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 4690 Demarcus English.
A request for administrative transfer and misdemeanor information. A clocked-in copy of both were hand-delivered to defense counsel at their table.
All right, that will be denied. 2019 CF 4834 Julian Javier Ortiz.
That was consolidated with 2019 CF 4815, and the filing ID for the information is 8896-6207.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 4691 Jesus Miguel Reyes Cartagena.
And Your Honor, if I may have just a moment. And information was filed on May 6th. The filing ID is 8906-8268.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 4828AO Miranda Watkins.
A notice of non-filing was filed on May 6th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 4422 Benjamin Sprinkle.
And information was filed on May 6th. Filing ID is 8905-7988.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 4495 Cameron Barnett.
A notice of non-filing was filed on May 6th.
That will be granted. 2019 4504 Louis Coiro.
A notice of non-filing on May 6th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 4687 Luis Alberto Alfonso.
A notice of non-filing on May 6th.
Granted. 2019 CF 3633 D'Angelo McCoy.
And information was filed on May 6th. Filing ID is 8906-6934.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 4398 Kevin Gen Aldolfi.
And information was filed on May 6th. Filing ID is 8906-6841.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 4087 Louis Anthony Coiro.
A notice of non-filing on May 6th.
Granted. 2019 CF 4710 Rashawn Richardson.
A notice of non-filing on May 6th.
Granted. 2019 MM 2809, Calvin Rashawn Reese.
A request for transfer and felony information. Clocked in copies were emailed to Defense Counsel on May 6th.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 4310, Euphestus Wayner Horace.
A request for administrative transfer and misdemeanor information. Clocked in copy was emailed to Defense on May 6th.
Denied. 2019 CF 4683, Jose Ronaldo Arroyo Gonzalez.
Notice of non-filing on May 6th.
Granted. 2019 CF 4581, George Calloway.
Notice of non-filing on May 6th.
Granted. 2019 CF 4639, Dior Devon Hardiman.
Notice of non-filing on May 6th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 246, Dior Devon Hardiman.
And information was filed on May 6th. Filing ID is 89027094.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 4693AO, Carlos Damani Fogel.
I apologize, Your Honor. I completely missed that one. A notice of non-filing was filed on May 7th.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 4557AO, Rory Michael Stone.
Notice of non-filing on May 6th.
That will be granted. And I think that's it. All right, we are on the record. It is May 7th, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 2. Can I please have the parties announce themselves for the record?
Good afternoon, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Cody Jordan with the Public Defender's Office.
It's his listed address. Well, maybe he rents it, but it's his address.
All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Julie M. Quinones Cruz.
All right, Ms. Quinones Cruz, you're here in 2019 MM 3842 AO. You were arrested for battery. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to return back. Well, I guess this was at the jail, so you're here.
I'm fine with that.
Thought that this may have occurred. Oh, maybe, is this the one that was on the wrong page? Okay. All right. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case. And I'm setting your bond at the $500, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. I was like, those conditions don't make any sense.
Sorry, Your Honor, what was the bond?
500. That must have been the one that was on the wrong one. And hopefully these are all right. Yeah. Well, that applies to somebody. Oh. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Dennis Anderson.
Anderson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Anderson, you're here in 2018 CF 5275 AO. This is a violation of probation. You were picked up on the warrant, and the judge set your bond at none. And I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Did you fill out it? Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
No,
Sorry?
no, ma'am. Not hiring me, no.
Okay, I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You should be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days on that case. And I believe in the same case, you had a failure to appear. You were picked up on that capias, and your bond is set at none, so that doesn't change anything. And in 2015 CF 3459AO, you were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a status hearing on January 28, 2019. The judge set your bond at none on each count. I'm appointing the PD if you don't already have them in that case. And in the same case, it's also a violation of probation, and you'll be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days on that. And again, your bond's set at none in that case too. So you have the PD on everything, okay? Please tell me your name, sir.
Edward Bailey.
All right, Mr. Bailey, you're here in 2019 CF 6550AO. You're arrested for operating a chop shop. And I do find probable cause. I'm gonna,
Your Honor.
did you fill out a form for the public defender?
Your Honor, I just want to discuss the probable cause in
Well,
these
he did
cases.
not fill out a form for the public defender,
Okay, I
so.
understand.
Okay, so I do find probable cause in 2019 CF 6551AO. You're arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. There's probable cause in 2019 CF 6552AO. There's a grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. There's probable cause in 2019 CF 6553AO. Grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, and there's probable cause. Same offense in 2019 CF 6554AO. There's probable cause. And same offense in 2019 CF 6556AO. There's probable cause. In 2019 CF 6557AO. Grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. There's probable cause. And then in 2019 CF 6558AO, there's just grand theft, third degree. And there's probable cause. You're planning on hiring your own attorney, Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Okay. And does he qualify for PTR because he has no history?
Your Honor, he had bonded. It had shown that he had bonded, so
He bonded out?
it had showed that his bonds were paid.
Okay, I'm showing bond pending.
Yeah, it was,
But not anymore. So I don't know what happened. Let me see if there's a note in here. There was bond pending for that.
Were you in the process of getting a bondsman or somebody bonding you out, Mr. Bailey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm just gonna stay the bonds, okay, in the case, or PTR, if you qualify, pretrial release. If you qualify, I don't know because I guess
we
maybe.
didn't screen or talk to him.
Okay,
so I have
so
no idea.
if for some reason the bond doesn't go through, you can see if you qualify for pretrial release. I don't see why you wouldn't with no history, okay? But I don't make that decision.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're not to have any contact with any of the victims, and they're not listed in the affidavits, but if you learn who their names are, then not to have any contact with them, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And so I'm gonna stay the bond in 6550 at 1,000 or PTR. Stay the bond at 1,000 in 6551 or PTR. Stay the bond in 6552 or PTR. Stay the bond in 6553 or
stay the bond in 6556 or PTR, stay the bond in 6557 or PTR, and 6558, stay the bond at the 500 or PTR. Okay? So if your bond doesn't go through and they try to interview you, they can't qualify you unless you cooperate with their questions, okay? Just to let you know. Okay?
He's got all. Okay, thank you.
All right. Please tell me your name.
Douglas Brunson.
All right, Mr. Bronson, you were picked up on a warrant for a violation of pretrial release, and the judge set your bond at none. Does he have the PD? You do have the public defender's office, so they can file any appropriate motions on your behalf, okay? Good afternoon. Can you tell me your name?
Travis Costello.
All right, Mr. Costello. You're here in 2019 CF 6573AO. You were arrested for 3 counts of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer with a deadly weapon, 2 counts of battery on a law enforcement officer, 2 counts of resisting an officer with violence, and 2 counts of resisting an officer without violence. And did you fill out a form for the
plead not
public
guilty.
defender? Did you fill out a form for the public defender?
No, I did not.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify?
No.
Okay. You planning on hiring your own attorney?
No.
Okay.
Is it necessary? Do I have to?
I probably would think about it. I mean, I can see if you
Is it
qualify
possible
for
to
the public
represent
defense.
myself?
You can, but that's going to be later on down the road. So,
That's what I'd like to do.
do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
No.
Okay. State, I do have a problem with probable cause for counts 1 through 3. There's no indication that he
There may have been 3 counts.
threatened anybody or, I mean,
No, I did not want to hurt them.
sir, don't say anything about your case or your facts on the record. The prosecutor's sitting right there, and anything you can and will be used against you, okay? So
understand.
it's to your benefit to just remain silent at this point, okay?
Am I allowed to speak if I'd like to?
Yes, but I would highly recommend that you don't talk about the facts of anything that happened, okay? I find probable cause for counts 4 through 9, but I am having a hard time with 1 through 3.
Your Honor, the state's not going to make a request based on the information that's contained within
Okay.
the affidavit.
I
And the
sustained
state would
injuries.
just ask the court to find probable cause if the court's inclined on 4 through 9.
Oh, okay.
4 through 11.
Okay, and so yes, there's an additional 2 counts of resisting.
And to consider count 4 as a primary.
I will do that. Okay, I'm gonna order that you cannot possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I'm gonna ROR you on counts 1 through 3, having found no probable cause for those offenses. Count 4, your bond will be $1,500, Each additional count will be 150 in 5, 6, and 7. Counts 8, 9, 10, and 11 will be $100. Mr. Costello, I don't know if are you gonna be able to bond out? Okay, do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender? Okay, we'll set him for a determination of counsel hearing in a week.
Thank you.
I set him for a DOC in a week, and we'll see where it's at there at that point. His family may try and help him. Okay, please tell me your name, sir.
Kenny Etienne.
All right, you're here in 2019 CF 6562AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause, sir. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'll stay the bonds at $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on counts 2 and 3 in 2019 CT 3441 AO. You were arrested for driving while license suspended as a subsequent offender. I do find probable cause. You're not to drive without a valid license. I'm going to appoint the PD in that case as well. Your bond will stay at $500. Please tell me your name.
Joshua Fast.
Here, Mr. Fast. You are here in 2019 CF 6571AO. You arrested for possession of amphetamine. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay at $1,500. Please tell me your name, sir.
Felix Gonzalez.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, you're here in 2019 6567AO. You're arrested for possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay at $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2. Please tell me your name, sir. Tell me your name.
Little John, Stephen Little John.
All right, Mr. Littlejohn, you're here in 2019 CF 6560AO. You're arrested for possession of MDMA, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of a prescription drug without a prescription. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bonds will remain set at $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on counts 2 and 3. You're also not to have any contact with the listed witness in the case. And you're also being held on an out-of-county, it looks like Polk County violation of probation based on the new law arrest, and you'll be held at no bond on that. Please tell me your name, ma'am.
Lauren McKee.
All right, Ms. McKee, you're here in 2019 CF 6563AO. You were arrested for possession of tetrahydrocannabinols, possession of alprazolam, possession of a controlled substance, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. I'm going to place you on pretrial release, okay? So you can't have any drugs or alcohol, and they're probably going to test you at some point. So just make sure that you don't consume or possess any illegal substances, and you follow all their recommendations, okay, and all their requirements.
I appreciate you.
Okay.
God bless. Thank you. No. Right.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Matthew Nelson.
Mr. Metcalf?
Mr. Metcalf,
Okay, we'll reset him. You, Mr. Nelson? Okay. All right, Mr. Nelson, you're picked up on a warrant in which probable cause was previously found for failing to update your driver's license as a sex offender. I'm gonna appoint the PD. You do have reporting requirements, and your bond will stay set at the $2,500. Please tell me your name, sir.
Anthony Michael Sardo.
Do we know what happened to Miss Roman?
she bonded, Your Honor.
All right, we'll take no action on Miss.
Miss Sanchez bonded also.
Okay. That's bad. I would have done that. Mr. Sarter? Okay. All right, you are here in 2019 CF 6575AO. You're arrested for grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And your bond will remain set at the $1,000. Singleton bond out too? Yeah? Yes. Okay. Are you Miss Smith?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Miss Smith, you're here in 2019 CF 6564AO. You're arrested for grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any victim in the case. I'm gonna place you on pretrial release, okay? So you need to make sure that you comply with all of their conditions.
Okay.
And you don't miss any meetings or phone calls or anything like that, okay?
All right, thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Jamari Thomas.
All right, Mr. Thomas. You're here in 2019 CF 6565AO. You were arrested for carrying concealed firearm in possession of Xanax. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm gonna stay your bond at the $2,500 on count one, $150 on count two. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm not gonna put you in pretrial release because the facts of this case and your prior history. So, All right, please tell me your name.
Jennifer Holmes.
Ms. Holmes, you're here in 2018 MM 9726AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your arraignment on November 19, 2018. The judge set your bond at $2,500. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Is there an offer to resolve the case today? If you want.
Your Honor.
It's a petty theft from a taxi.
Your Honor, the state would need more time to speak to the victim, et cetera, and the state did not have that time over the break.
Well,
And
it
I'm
was.
not comfortable making an
Is there any notes in the system? I mean, it's a 2018 case. My guess is that the victim has been contacted.
Your Honor, if I,
She has no prior history.
Your Honor, the state is not prepared to make an offer on the matter because
Does she
the state does
qualify
not
for
have-
pretrial release?
We don't qualify the FTAs, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I can't do anything about the capias, so your attorneys are gonna have to file a motion, and to see if,
Well, didn't she have a bond?
I'm just saying I can't change that
Yes.
bond, so.
2,500 was it?
Okay, so I can't put her in
Yeah.
see if she qualified and then maybe see if I could get her in there, but, okay? And you do have the public defender now, okay? Please tell me your name.
Takeem Camacho.
All right, Mr. Camacho, you're here in 2019 CT 587 AO. You're arrested for no valid driver's license.
Yes, ma'am.
I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Does the state have an offer in this case?
The state usually doesn't have offers on driving, but he has no license, so he has no driving record, so I'm looking at his history.
I'm requesting on behalf of my client.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if,
He does have a David up there, Your Honor.
right, no, I have it. It's
Okay.
just, it's not a license, so,
Right.
yeah. So, and I'm just looking at his history here.
Your Honor, the state would make an offer of an adjudication, 5 days, 4 days, 1 day credit time served. Or is it 2 days credit time served? 2?
So 4 days, 2 days?
2 days credit time served.
Okay, so Mr. Camacho, the state's making you an offer of an adjudication with 4 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days, and I would have to impose court costs. I think that would get you out tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, what do I sign?
Thank you.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Camacho, you want to enter a plea of no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm showing you this plea form. Is there your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by May 7th, 2020, okay? It gives you a year to pay them off.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you. Don't drive without a valid license.
Yes,
If you
ma'am.
can get one, try and get one.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Miss Green bond out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then Ezra, Ndollo, I can't, Ndolo, bonded?
They gave him a ROR,
He got ROR?
so. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Who decides that?
That would be pre-trial.
It's 190138814. Oh, pretrial gets to decide who gets ROR?
Who's the guy to talk
If they meet the qualifications for the administrative ROR.
Interesting. I'll have to make a note of that. All right, are you Mr. Green?
Not 12.
No, he's mental health, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll reset Mr. Green. Mr. Maxwell?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
finally got to you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Maxwell, you're here in 2019 MO 869. You were arrested for state misdemeanors. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Taking into consideration that he is out on bond, the state's offer is an adjudication, 5 days, 1 day credit time served.
All right, I'm not gonna take any action, Mr. Maxwell, on the out on bond case. Just make sure you don't come back and you don't get rearrested. Do you wanna take the offer?
Yes, please.
Okay.
No.
Just don't miss any court dates if you have any.
All right.
It's 5 days with 1 day you've served.
Do I
And
get
then
out,
I
next
have-
day out tomorrow?
I don't think you get out tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow.
I don't know, maybe Thursday?
Friday, I believe.
Friday?
Friday.
Did he qualify for the public defender?
I did appoint you, yes. Thank you. All right, Mr. Maxwell, do you want to plead no contest?
Yeah.
All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yeah.
Up here? Is this
Yeah.
your signature? All right. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yeah.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yeah.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
All right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 5 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by May 7th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Make sure you don't miss any court dates.
All right.
Please tell me your name.
Jason Kuros.
All right, Mr. Kuros, you're here in 2019 MO 870. You were arrested for camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication, 4 days, Orange County Jail, 1 day credit time served, and court costs.
Is that something you want to do today?
So it's done today, I get out today?
You wouldn't get out today.
Thursday night. And it's whatever,
my client about the offer, and he does wish to take the plea.
Okay. Thank you. All right. You want to enter a no contest plea? Mr. Quiros?
Yes.
Okay, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by May 7th, 2020, okay? It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir, okay? Good luck to you. Is that it? All right, we'll be in recess.